What was the hardest rule to follow in your house? My grandma banned all modern medicine from her house. I was 15 when we moved in with grandma after mom's car accident. Dad had left years ago, so it was just me, my 12-year-old sister Lucy, and grandma in her creaky house. The medicine ban started immediately. She threw out Lucy's inhaler and even the fluoride toothpaste. She said mom's death was God's punishment for trusting doctors instead of faith. Prayer and herbs would cure everything. When Lucy wheezed at night, grandma would rub eucalyptus oil on her chest and tell her to pray harder. Lucy was prone to severe asthma attacks that could land her in the ER, but grandma insisted her mysterious teas would fix everything. She'd stand over us while we drank her healing teas to make sure we swallowed every drop, never telling us what was in them. Sometimes Lucy's breathing got worse after drinking them, wheezing harder than before, but grandma said that meant they were working. I'd hidden one of Lucy's emergency inhalers in a hole I cut in my mattress. Some nights when Lucy couldn't breathe, especially after drinking whatever herbs grandma had boiled, I'd sneak into her room and give her a couple puffs, just enough to stop the wheezing without grandma noticing she was better. Lucy thought it was the eucalyptus finally working. I let her believe that because if she knew about the inhaler, she might accidentally tell grandma. The guilt of lying to Lucy ate at me, but not as much as the fear of watching her suffocate in her sleep. The real problem started when Lucy got strep throat. Her fever hit 103 and she had white patches all over her throat. I knew it was strep because half her class had it. Grandma made her gargle with salt water and put onions in her socks. For 3 days, Lucy got worse. She stopped eating because swallowing hurt too much. She was so dehydrated her lips cracked and bled. She couldn't even cry anymore because she didn't have enough fluid in her body to make tears. Grandma said it was the toxins leaving her body. I stayed up all night Googling death from untreated strep throat on my phone under my blanket, reading about rheumatic fever and kidney failure. I couldn't watch my sister dying of something that 10 days of antibiotics would cure. I took $20 from grandma's purse while she was at church and walked 4 miles to the urgent care clinic. I told them I had strep symptoms and paid the clinic fee with grandma's money. The doctor barely looked at my throat before prescribing amoxicillin. I filled it at the pharmacy, my heart pounding the whole time, because I knew this would end everything if grandma found out. The pharmacist asked if I had any questions about the medication, and I almost laughed because I'd researched dosages and side effects for hours. I crushed the pills and mixed them into Lucy's soup, telling her it was a new herb grandma wanted her to try. After 2 days, her fever broke. After 4, she could swallow again. After a week, she was completely better, asking for seconds at dinner and singing in the shower again. Grandma praised God for the miracle and said it proved doctors were unnecessary. I thought I'd gotten away with it until grandma found the pill bottle in my backpack when she was looking for her missing $20. Grandma stood in my doorway holding the antibiotics like they were a bag of poison. Her face was purple with rage, and her hands shook as she read the label over and over. Lucy was behind her in the hallway, finally healthy, finally able to breathe and swallow and laugh again. "You poisoned your sister with this filth," grandma said, her voice deadly quiet. "You brought Satan's chemicals into my home. You stole from me to buy it." I wanted to scream that I'd saved Lucy's life, that she would have died from strep throat in the 21st century because of grandma's insane beliefs, but I just sat there on my bed, knowing what was coming. We had nowhere else to go, no other family, no money. This house was all we had. "I'm calling social services," grandma said, pulling out her phone. "I'll tell them you're giving your sister dangerous substances without consent, stealing money, endangering a child." She started dialing. "They'll put you in juvenile detention and Lucy in foster care. At least then she'll be safe from you." Lucy started crying, begging grandma not to call, saying she felt better, that I'd helped her, but grandma wasn't listening. She was already talking to someone on the phone, using words like dangerous and unauthorized medication and immediate removal. I looked at Lucy and mouthed, "Pack your stuff," because I knew we had about 10 minutes before our lives exploded. Either we were going into the system separately, or we were running away together with nothing but whatever we could fit in our backpacks. Either way, we'd just become homeless because I couldn't let my sister die of strep throat in a house where antibiotics were considered evil. Grandma was giving our address to whoever was on the phone, and Lucy was frozen in the hallway. And I realized I had to choose right now whether to run or let them take us. Outside, I could already hear sirens. Full story on the channel below.